What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Little Kings. I'm Ryan, aka Penguin Monster.
And I'm Ryan, aka No Mercy Merc TTV. On this episode, we cover Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play on release. Free to play games and potential barriers of entry for competitive play. Shroud has a juicy announcement coming soon.
Ooh.
Rappers are taking over Twitch. Mr. Beast's Riddle solved in record breaking time. And Nintendo has some massive leaks.
Oh, that sounds gross. Let's do it. And it's a podcast. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing well, dude. A little later than normal, but yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
I mean, it's not like the dead of night here.
Not to you when you stay up till 6 a.m., but to me, it's getting close to bedtime.
Yeah, I was marathoning some Valorant this weekend. I don't know what got into me. It was just the end of the first season, so I was like, just got to get in as many games as possible to try to get the battle pass done.
I think we were on at like 4 a.m. at one point. I was like, I haven't been up this late since college.
Yep.
Feels good to be back.
My wife wakes up at 5:30 a.m. to go to work, and I said hi to her both days she worked this weekend before I went to bed. So one thing I saw this past week that was kind of an update to something we talked about last week. We talked about Halo Infinite and how the multiplayer may have been delayed past when they released the campaign. Now, we still don't know about that yet. We have no idea on timelines, but we did get big news in terms of Halo going free to play.
For multiplayer only.
For multiplayer only, yes.
Yes.
What do you think about that move?
I am so excited. It's a game that I don't have to buy. I'm all multiplayer all the time.
Right.
I don't care about campaign, so I lucked out.
Yeah, I thought of you instantly because I was like, he's not going to care about the campaign at all, so he's just free. Yeah, are you going to justify buying skins because of that? You're going to say,
$300 worth. Yeah.
So as long as it's a different game, it's okay. Just no more Valorant skins. Okay.
Totally, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm worried about, it's the same kind of thing we talked about with Rocket League going free to play, which is just the competitive nature of the game. And I feel like cheaters and Smurfs and all that kind of stuff it's much easier to get through when there's no pay barrier.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that aspect of it, but I do like the free part.
Definitely. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to complain about free for anything, I don't think. So, so this was actually kind of a topic that was sent to us by a user on our Discord, which, if you don't know, we have a Discord. We'll link that on our Twitter for sure.
Check it out.
But John sent this in as an idea, which was talking about having a paywall even in free-to-play games for competitive modes. So in a ranked mode versus an unranked mode, to have some sort of barrier to discourage cheating.
Huh.
The thing with me is, like, I think players are going to want to play competitive, and they're going to be upset that there is any kind of barrier to them, and they're going to lose players based on that. So if they want the game to be as available as possible, which they probably do if they're going free to play, that will discourage some players if there's a paywall.
For sure. I would be livid, especially if they came out with the announcement that, it's free to play for multiplayer, and they didn't give us that like stipulation beforehand.
Right.
I would be like, you pulled the rug from under us. Like you baited us.
Yeah, but this is kind of just a more generalized topic. So if they had come out and said, the general mode is free to play, but if you want to do ranked, it's $5.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what that barrier of entry is, of how upset I would be.
Like, as a person who really enjoys ranked modes, I might be willing to throw down $5 to $10. Maybe it gives you a bit of an appearance pack and then also unlocks competitive for you. But I do
Yeah.
see as a business that's still being a barrier to entry that they didn't want.
It's almost like a double-edged sword because it's like you can offer the unranked for free, get people in to try it. Hopefully some people fall in love with it, buy the competitive. But on the other hand, they could just be $5 for all multiplayer and get all these people in that don't even end up enjoying it and just threw away their free money.
But I think they'd have less. I think there will still be some people who won't just give it a shot if it's any money for the multiplayer. There's
good
definitely people who will download a game just for the hell of it if they see it's free. Whereas if it's any kind of money, I think it will lower the potential player base. But
Yeah,
I think it's
I guess I'm not the right person to ask because I see $5 and I'm like, yeah, I'll try the game for $5. Like,
But think of like, we're at a point in our lives where we're lucky enough to do that. But think of like when we were in high school or something like that, and we had to ask our moms to go spend the money for the game. We would have
yeah,
downloaded it instantly if it was free and not had to worry about it. And that is a pretty big demographic of gaming, I feel like.
I guess so. But then you have to think about the corporations, like their main goal is to make money. So like even this free kid that downloads the free game, it's like, how are they going to get money out of them? Because, okay, they're still going to need their parents' credit card if there's cosmetics or a battle pass or something.
Right.
Like I don't think they care that much about that population because they literally make them no money.
That's true. That's a fair point. But there has to be some sort of population that would say it's like an app on your phone, right? There's plenty of people who will get any free app, but if they see 99 cents, they're like, oh, forget it. Like, I can probably find a free app for it. But I kind of like the idea of the competitive mode being a small amount. You maybe even unlock some skins when you pay it, but you kind of rake them in with the free unranked mode. And if they say, oh, I kind of like the way this plays, I'd like to get into something competitive, let me throw down $5 or $10 or whatever it is.
I could see that process working. I just really hope it's not the case for this case.
I don't think it'll be the case for this game.
But you could see it in the future as a free-to-play model.
I've never really heard that portion, like where you only pay for the competitive side of things. I don't even really think that is a model. But it's interesting to me because I would understand it. And as we just played Valorant earlier tonight, and the difference between unranked and ranked is incredible. Like the player base is just annoying as anything. They don't know what they're doing. Like it does make a huge difference to be playing in ranked and to kind of like weed out the players who are more casual about it and are more likely to skirt around certain systems that make it balanced. I might pay a small amount for that.
Good point.
But I think
like
they
it.
should have the availability to play the game if they want to, of course.
Right. Yeah. No, I like it. It's a really interesting method of doing it. Never thought about it before. I'm glad I didn't look at the Discord before this.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
This
the
answer
idea,
was kind
John.
of hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, John, for the question. I'm glad I didn't get to think about it too much.
Right.
That I was just kind of thrown on the spot. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's definitely interesting to think about. And I guess speaking about Valorant, we might as well mention real quickly, there was some news in that side of the pie. New agent announced, Killjoy.
Yep.
I feel like she's very aptly named because she might kill a lot of my joy, unfortunately.
I agree.
With the turret and the grenade that explodes on stepping on it, basically. And also, I'm not a huge fan of the color schemes.
No, it's so Fortnite.
It really is. It really
It's
is
like
Fortnite.
Bringing the kids in. It's like, come on, play this adult game. That like, no, leave it to us. Let us have some.
Well, that's them trying to get more players, though, right?
I know, but
Even the new skin pack that they announced is along that lines, I feel like.
and it's I don't know if you heard, but it's actually in between the Prime and the Ultimate pack. So it's like it's not the $71, it's not the $100, it's like $87.
Oh, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even have bought it for the 71.
Yeah. And they're like the crappiest guns. They're
They
literally
really
the worst
were.
guns.
I don't think, was there any AR?
No. Bulldog was the only one.
Just Bulldog's kind of an AR, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, weird direction there. And they also announced a free-for-all mode, which is interesting to me for sure. I think that'll be a good way to kind of practice and just sort of, if those are quicker game modes, maybe hop on that to try to get your aim down for the night and then hop over to the normal game.
Yeah, I think they said it would max out at 6 minutes.
Because it's like Spike Rush type of thing?
Even the highest kills after 6 minutes if no one gets to 30 is what they said.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like really
quick.
that's a quick game.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I also thought I know we used to play a game on Call of Duty called like Gunfight or something.
Yeah.
Or like where it would cycle through the guns.
Right.
I could see them adding a competitive level of that kind of game because right now, well, when it comes out, you're going to be able to buy any gun you want. So you can practice with any gun you want.
Oh, it's unlimited, right? Right. Unlimited
but it would
credits.
be cool to have a competitive mode where, you start pistol or like classic, go up to ghost, you evolve through all the weapons. Like,
that's
I could see
that's
that.
gun game in Call of Duty.
Gun game, yeah.
Yeah. Gunfight
I could
was
see them
the,
doing something like that
2v2
too.
that we would play.
Oh yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It'll be interesting. I think it's coming out in beta with season 2. So they'll kind of take feedback and then change the mode however they see fit, type of thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the maps are big enough for 10 people and just
Well, that's what I was going to...
no teams.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get into because I think I complained about this before on the podcast, but it's cool that they're announcing new content, but where are my maps? There's 4 maps, and holy shit, I spent 12 hours playing this game. I played Ascent maybe 10 and a half of those hours this past weekend. I don't understand what's going on with Ascent.
I don't understand.
It's like when it first came out and they were pushing it, which I totally understood. Like they want people to get used to the new map. But now it's just a map. Why, if I go in my career, do I not even see games that are any other map? I just see Ascent, the entire screen.
Yep.
Pissed.
I don't know. Yeah. Because when they did initially come out with it, I think they said it had like a 60% weighting or something per game. Like really high. Like you had a more than 50% chance of getting Ascent. But they said they evened them out. They said they gave them each 25% chance. But I've yet to see that.
Yeah, I mean...
Prove it right.
I guess with the odds, technically we could always get Ascent if it truly is random, but yeah. I should go to a casino this weekend, I guess.
Yeah. We lucky or unlucky.
Yeah.
If you like Ascent or if you don't like Ascent.
I like it okay. I just want some variety.
I agree.
I don't think it's a bad map. I just give me some of the other maps and make some new maps. With season 2. I don't think that's been announced. And I'm just like, at least come out with one map a season.
And like, honestly, as of recording this, we're
close
10 hours away from them pushing the patch out tomorrow morning.
Oh, does season 2 start right away? I thought there was a day.
I think it launches at like 8, 9 a.m. or something.
Oh, wow.
Eastern time.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah. I hope they do have a slightly larger map because of the 10-person free-for-all. Because I think it's going to be needed. And I'm interested in their spawn situation.
Yeah, I forgot
because
about spawns.
We haven't seen a spawn situation before.
Right, you just have the sides.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So that ruins a lot of games.
Yeah.
A lot of games have that issue.
Yeah. But I mean,
So,
the main mode of Valorant will always be, go plant the spike. So,
yep.
but yeah, I mean, they could even make a map specific for free for all.
Yeah, they could.
I could see that happening. But, and I know it probably takes much more time to make a map than obviously a skin pack or even a character, I would think. Characters got to be a lot of playtesting, but maps, they have to know the peak points, they have to know the angles on certain things. That I can see being tricky. But come on, we've got 4 maps for the game.
Yeah, and I wonder how they would implement them at this point because I know they've made changes to the original maps. They haven't made any changes to Ascent yet that I know of
I think
since the
they,
original release of Ascent.
I think I remember them doing some small patches for like broken, sage wall or teleporter points for Omen and that kind of stuff. But I don't think they've done actual shifts of the footprint of the map.
Okay. Because I know they've definitely like removed walls and
Yes,
boxes from the other original
for
maps,
sure.
like big, broken, like overpowered hiding spots kind of things.
100%.
So I'm interested to see when a new map does come out, how it's tested. Like, is it only going to be played in unrated to iron out all those
Well, Ascent
OP things, or
wasn't Ascent straight into ranked when it started.
I think it was, but I don't know what they did behind the scenes. Like, did they have pros doing scrims on it and
I don't think so.
pinpointing
I think they just
stuff
dropped
that's
it.
wrong?
I think they just dropped it.
Huh.
I mean, there's something to be said. Yes, it is a ranked mode and it is to be taken more seriously, but it's not pro level. And if you're going to have tournaments, you could just say, this map hasn't been tested enough yet. We're going to go with
That's
the
true.
other maps.
Yeah, that's true. So speaking of Valorant, there might be some big news dropping tomorrow about a pro.
Oh,
Um,
who? Ninja?
no, someone who's actually been a little more silent in terms of social media.
Oh,
Shroud has now been silent for 6 weeks
except for a
on like
couple
all
troll
social
posts.
media, except for his first tweet the other day. That was like a 3-second GIF of a gun trigger, and like you could see a flash of Omen from Valorant on it. So everyone's speculating like, oh, he got signed to a pro Valorant team.
That's 100% my theory. So he while he was streaming, I have no idea if he knew about Mixer. I don't think he probably did, but he talked so many different times on so many different streams about how he loved Valorant as a game. He wished he could go pro, but with time and just his stream schedule that he had to meet because of his contractual obligations with Mixer, he couldn't do it because he couldn't do the scrims with a pro team. And he just felt like he would have no kind of balance in his life. I think he probably misses that ultra competitive nature a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will still stream because that's his love. But as long as he finds a team that allows him a little bit of free time for the stream, and he can kind of make sure he's talking with people a little bit, I think his true love is esports and going back into a competitive type of environment.
I agree. I think I don't know if he was doing streaming previously for financial reasons, like that too. Well, obviously, like he had to meet his contractual obligations with Mixer,
Right.
for the money.
Yeah.
But like after that cancellation, you imagine he gets a hefty lump.
He got a big bag
from Mixer, so
Yeah.
like you don't have to worry as much about money anymore. Yes, he loves streaming, but would he do it as much? I don't know. Because he was streaming games that weren't very popular either. He would jump on and he would play WoW for hours. And
Yeah.
like he knew his player base wasn't there for him to do that. But I felt like he was just trying to meet his minimum hours on Mixer or whatever.
Right, because my understanding with and I obviously I didn't see Shroud's contract, but I think it was just solely you have to stream for a certain amount of time. It wasn't you have to play this game for a certain amount of time. So he would try to have as much fun with it as he could, but it was still structured in a way that he couldn't figure out exactly what he wanted to do with his time. Whereas now he's got the bag, he's set for life. He can choose what he wants to do, whether that be streaming or playing pro. And I think he might want to play pro in Valorant and just stream as more of a side fun thing like he had done originally when he was playing CS.
So my one doubt in that it's a Valorant signing is that the gun that was in the GIF looked nothing like any type of Valorant gun. It was like an M4, like straight out of Escape from Tarkov, straight out of Call of Duty. So like, is this just his main 3 games right there in 1 3-second GIF? Is that what he was alluding to? That he's back full-time streaming? I don't know.
That's a good point. I kind of just assumed it was the op, but I didn't look very closely at it.
Yeah. Tricky Shroud.
Yeah.
So the reason I say that the announcement could be dropping tomorrow is he put his first YouTube video up as well today. I think it was around like 6 p.m. or whatever. And at the very end of it, it's 20 minutes long. It's just a montage of the best one.
I watched a little of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. Yeah.
And so it's like you would have to make it all the way through the 20 minutes to get to the final scene that just big bold letters and a period. Tomorrow. I'm so excited for tomorrow.
This is August 3rd that we're recording it, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, by next week we will definitely have the news of what's going on with Shroud.
Yeah,
and I'm sure we will have tweeted to hell about it already.
Yes.
I mean, I hope he's got to still stream. I would assume even if he's playing pro, he's going to stream still.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, and you know what? Thinking back now, he wasn't playing Valorant as often towards the end of his streams, but I wonder if that's because a lot of people started getting signed to pro teams. They weren't as available as much, and he knew, unless I was going ultra competitive, I don't care that much about this game. Mm-hmm. But who knows? We'll find out.
So one thing I want to ask you about real quick is that I didn't know this until today, but were you aware that nobody who streams on Twitch can technically play with Dr. Disrespect? I know we've butchered the hell out of Dr. Disrespect, but I had no idea that they weren't allowed to have him in voice comms.
I saw something, I think, from Tim talking about that.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Yeah. Tim the Top Man.
That blows my mind.
I think Twitch just wants no content, just wants no anything of him on their platform.
Do you think if one of us played with Dr. Disrespect that they would somehow find it? Do you think they have voice recognition
of Dr. Disrespect
ready for Dr. Disrespect?
I mean, if they were gonna, they could develop some sort of thing for that because they have so much recorded audio of Dr. Disrespect. I doubt it though. I mean, but they're gonna be watching the biggest streamers and know about it if the biggest streamers play with him. So I think they'll probably just monitor it there. Why, you know him?
No, that's what I'm just saying. Dr. Disrespect, thanks for listening to the podcast. I know you listen. He's told me he's a big fan. You know, if you want to come play off the record,
well, this is
unless they got voiceal recognition.
Well, this is
I don't know what he did yet.
He's done nothing illegal.
Yeah. Yes.
We may not want to be associated with him depending on what the news is.
Yeah, you know what, Dr. Disrespect? We'll wait on that. We'll wait on the news.
Not to be disrespectful.
Yeah. No. F that guy.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I feel like we're talking about streamers a little bit. I think it's worth mentioning that Logic got signed to Twitch.
Yes.
Which I don't know about you, but I'm a big Logic fan. I don't think you're as into rap.
I heard his Suicide Hotline
that was like
song,
a one-off
and that's
song,
about it.
Basically.
That's about it. That's all I know of him.
Okay. I like him a lot. album that he dropped a couple weeks ago now at this point, I thought was fantastic. It was kind of getting back to his roots and definitely less kind of mainstream poppy type rap and more lyrical and like just more calculated raps that were just fire. Like he was just spitting lines. I think he has a song called Five Hooks on the album because there's only 5 different songs that actually have a chorus to them. Otherwise, it's just him basically spitting lines. But I was a big fan of his album, and I just love he does a song called Dad Bod, and there was a music video released for it, and it's basically him talking about why he's retiring, and this is his last album, and it's just him basically saying he's made it. He's successful in the rap game, one of the best, arguably. I mean, definitely folks can comment on that as well. But he has more than enough money to last as long as he needs to for him and his kid. And now he has a son, he's got a wife, and he just wants to be not a part of the big public eye. So he says he's moving to Montana, he's retiring, and he's just doing what he wants to do, which is playing video games and streaming on Twitch. And I think it's just really cool that this really famous rapper who, like, usually the rap game is all about like swag and clout and all this kind of stuff. He's just going to be streaming on Twitch just like you or me.
Yeah. So first of all, I watched his first ever stream and I loved his vibe.
Yes.
Like he was explaining everything behind his album. He was speaking from the heart. He was a true, genuine person.
Yes.
Which, like, I'm usually a pretty good gauge of that. And he seems like someone I could go to a bar with and just chill.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I respect him so much. I haven't listened to a lot of his music, but as a man, he seems like solid.
Yes.
Especially wanting to spend additional quality time with his kid and stuff like that. But one thing he had mentioned was making music on stream. Like he wants to produce music while streaming it, like showing the process. So it's like he's not completely like sick of music. Like he still
not at all
loves music.
Yeah.
And so he's still gonna make music? Like will he produce and release music?
He's retired from Logic as the rapper, is what I'm understanding. But music is still his passion, and he's still going to create things and put them out. But it's not going to be like this Logic persona that tours all the time, that like has to keep up a social media presence, all that kind of stuff to try to get ahead in the rap game and basically go top charts and that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be more just stuff that he finds interesting. It could be all sorts of different genres. He's very much into like soul and jazz as well. So I could see him getting into that. And then I believe he also has a record label. So he's going to be producing music for other artists as well.
Oh, cool.
And I think he's released at least one novel. He might be working on another one. And I think he's working on 2 different films. One film I know is with J.J. Abrams, which is really cool. Yeah.
What a cool guy.
Yeah. He's kind of just like into everything.
That's really cool.
It's neat. Yeah.
One other rapper that I bet you do not know who's streaming on Twitch right now. You probably know the rapper, but you probably don't know that he's streaming on Twitch. Soulja Boy.
Oh, I have seen Soulja Boy stream. He's played Valorant.
Has he been?
I think he's played Valorant before. Yeah.
So he started a stream playing RuneScape. That's where he like started his Twitch career back. Was he streaming old school RuneScape?
That's hilarious.
He blew up in the community. He was like 10K viewers on old school RuneScape.
That's awesome.
And so like me and my buddies who still play, we were loving it. And like he was on stream like cranking it. He was doing everything. It was wild.
I think maybe it wasn't Valorant, but I thought he was playing Valorant one time, and I saw a clip because he had been streaming for like an hour and a half already and didn't realize that there was no sound being output. So like people were chatting in, we can't hear anything, and he was like, oh shit, I've been doing this for like 90 minutes and there's been no sound.
He's so funny. He's so technologically inept. Like you can tell his stream is like thrown together with duct tape. Like
That's funny. You'd think he could just like have a producer behind the scenes that would set up everything.
yeah, you would think.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Yeah. So this will actually be a really good transition
Okay.
because so Slasher had said Logic within 30 seconds of his first stream will get hit with a DMCA strike because he's going to be playing like his own music or
Right.
something like that. And so I wanted to get your take on something that I actually read about when it comes to Twitch and DMCA.
Okay.
I think we've talked previously about a feature that Twitch has since they're linked to Amazon, that they have this cool thing called Watch Party,
Yeah.
where as long as whoever in your chat has Twitch Prime, they can watch a movie that's on Amazon Prime or Amazon Video, whatever it's called,
Right.
along with you. So another feature they have is that you can actually use Amazon Prime's music library, play it during stream, and anybody who has a Twitch account can also listen to that music. So you can listen to music that you actually enjoy.
Is it
Instead of
anybody that has a Twitch account or anybody that has a Prime account?
No, anybody who has a Prime account. They need a Prime Amazon account
See, that's
in order to like access the music.
that's the issue that I have is that I don't. It's cool that you can do it, and I wouldn't mind it as like an off stream, but I don't like that there's a barrier of entry to my viewers that is basically a paywall. It's not my paywall, but if they don't have Prime, then they can't watch me that stream, and I don't like that aspect of it.
How many people don't have Amazon Prime?
There-
I'd love to know in the world, like what's the percentage of people
well,
who don't have Amazon Prime?
we can see in our chat. I mean, there's quite a few people that don't have the Crown.
Right, but those are people who don't feel comfortable linking their Twitch account to their Prime account. Like
Well,
I know
wouldn't you
3
need
people
to
in
do
my
that?
chat.
Wouldn't you
Huh?
need to do that to
No.
view the? Oh, it's a separate login somehow.
It's a separate login, brings you to a different website, and it's basically syncing a playlist played off like Chrome or something.
Oh, interesting.
So you don't technically need to intertwine your Twitch and your Prime, because I know a lot of people don't want to do that. Like I know 3 people in particular in my chat that have Amazon Prime but just don't link it to their Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think a lot of people have Prime. It's probably an overwhelming majority of potential viewers, but I just don't like. Same thing as I would never really turn on follower or sub only chat.
Yeah.
Unless I'm getting just spammed or something, and so I need a second to make sure the chat is fine, and that's an easier way to deal with it. I'm more, I want everybody to be able to view and hang out with my stream.
So what about people that don't want to listen to chat or listen to music in the background of a stream? They would then have the option to either go with music or without music.
To me, that's content that I'm outputting, and that's my decision as a creator.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with them if they don't like my opinion on that, but I don't like that there's a paywall to get into my stream.
But it's not really a paywall.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Prime.
No, it's not. No, it's not, because they can watch your stream without music.
Oh. So it'll just be silent. And I can still voice chat?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, you see.
Since it's outside of the Twitch universe.
I got
It's
you.
a synced playlist.
Okay, so I misunderstood how that worked. So I was
Yes,
thinking
yes.
they wouldn't even be able to get into the stream at all.
Got it. No, not the case. No.
How do they do that with Prime Video? Because isn't that the main content that's showing?
So it's the same way. You go to a third party or like an Amazon website.
Yeah.
You log in with your Amazon credentials, and what it does is it then syncs with Twitch. And so you're watching a Chrome browser, not on twitch.com, but they linked that you're watching someone who is doing a watch party, and they'll then put your video in the top right corner.
Like my face cam, you're saying?
Your face cam, yeah.
So if they come to a Prime Video stream, though, the entire screen is black except for my face cam?
So no, if they go to Twitch and they click on a watch party of you,
Yeah.
it's literally just going to be your face cam, Like the whole screen's going to be your face cam, and they would have to they would be watching your reaction to a movie. Think of like Shia LaBeouf when he filmed himself for 24 hours watching his own videos. That would be
wait a second. That was fantastic, though.
Yes.
But that's also because he's Shia LaBeouf. Like, to be fair. Okay. All right. So I kind of misunderstood how that system worked. I'm less opposed to it in that case.
Okay.
But I still don't think I'd do it. But besides, like, the occasional one-off stream as just a fun thing. But as a regular thing, I'd rather just play copyright-free music in the background and just have a normal stream vibe versus the Prime way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think I would do the music as much as I might do a one-off watch party. Because that kind of seems like fun, like more of like a relaxing night. You don't want to be stressing about a video game or.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing with exploring streams, right? Like, yeah.
We haven't talked about it on the podcast. Can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah. So very quick, exploring or exploring. Basically, we pick some kind of topic or rabbit hole to go down, whether it's science, space exploration. I think I'm going to talk about psychology on our next one, or just like a video that we find interesting and that we'd like to react to type of thing. And yeah, it's basically me going down, showing my browser, going to different articles or different videos, and basically talking through that with chat. So it's in just chatting that I do it. And we get a lot of really good chat interaction back and forth. Because one thing I've noticed when streaming Valorant is that if the viewer does not play Valorant, it's a little bit boring to them. And it's also much harder to talk with people in chat because you can do it between rounds pretty easily. But if you're looking to clutch something, it's very hard to do the interaction. So it is just like a more chill night to just go explore different things. But a lot of those things I've been looking at have been YouTube videos or articles or things of that nature where I think it's a little bit more safe in terms of DMCA. Watching a full TV show or movie, I think, is more of a gray area. And if I ever want to put out additional content, if I want a VOD saved or I want to put content out on YouTube for highlights, that gets a little gray. Although I think, big people like XQC will watch TV shows or movies. And as long as there is their own additional content on top of it where they're reacting, I think that is fair use technically. But you just run into more trouble with mainstream stuff is the problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a gray area. First of all, I think your Exploring stream is the most interactive content I've ever seen on Twitch. So I'll say that right now.
Well, that is an amazing compliment. Thank you.
And like, honestly, your chat has said nothing but good things about it either.
Oh, they've loved it. I've had a couple of different viewers say, because I've asked them like, hey, how do you like the Exploring streams? I hope it's not boring, because some of the topics get really in depth and like, even my mind after a couple hours, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I got to go play some video games. But they're like, it's our favorite type of stream. So
you're like using your time productively too. Like, I've learned things on the Exploring stream.
Right.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. I've really been having a good time with it. I'm glad I started it.
I love it.
Yeah. But I think you're exactly right with like a Prime watch party where it definitely is a more chill environment, and I'm not like, I'm not having to be super on the entire time when I'm trying to kill someone in Valorant or, I feel like streaming in general is already an additional layer of stress, and it's fun as hell, but it's like you're just adding more and more when it comes to a super competitive game and trying to do chat interaction and that kind of stuff.
Totally, yeah. So. And boy, my chat's gotten me killed a couple times. Chat's flying. I'm looking over. I'm side-eyeing it.
I felt like your chat was so much fun this week. Like,
oh my God.
You're definitely, we talked about this a little bit, just texting back and forth, but you're definitely feeling like the Tim the Tap Man kind of streamer right now. where they're just roasting you in chat, but it's like laughing with you type of thing rather than at you.
For sure, yeah. It's all fun and games, but
I think it's all really good spirited. It's not mean spirited, but it's very fun for me too, just as your friend, because I love making fun of you in a friendly way as well, and I can just play off of your chat.
yeah, yeah. It's nice when it's like the loyals who like are always there. Like I know their personality, I know their sense of humor and stuff. So like I'm waiting for like one random person to come in one day and just be like, God, this guy's ugly. And we're all just cracking up like, ah. But he's like serious.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh.
that's true. I mean, yeah, you definitely have to. I feel like try to moderate it a little bit in terms of if it gets mean spirited at all or something like that. You'll definitely want to try to curb that. You don't want to go a route of that's okay all the time type of thing.
Yeah.
But luckily, I don't think it's gone that direction at all yet.
Nope, not yet. But we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll moderate it. Keep an eye on it.
I am one of your mods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So one other thing that we texted a little bit about this week, but I wanted to kind of talk about in person. There was a big riddle that came out, and that was kind of. We thought it would be very interesting content, and I think we texted before it came out. This was from Mr. Beast, huge YouTuber, content producer, streams as well now. He has a gaming channel as well. He tweets out, "We've spent months working together on this riddle, and I'm going to tweet it out at a certain time, and I think it's going to be very, very hard for you all to solve it. It's going to take a long time, but I'm very excited, and whoever solves it gets $100,000.
And gets to be in a video.
And gets to
Like,
be in a video. Yeah, that's
awesome.
really cool. So I think we texted right before it went out, and I was like, I think he's underestimating the power of the internet. I was like, I think this is going to be solved pretty quickly. And you were like, I don't know, man. Tell a little bit. There was a RuneScape thing that took forever to be solved.
Yeah, so it was something called Crack the Clue, which like clue scrolls are a thing within the game, but this was like a master one that took place outside of the actual game, but the end happened in game. It was very like meta. It was so cool. Mm-hmm. It took a year and like 8 months or something to finally solve it, and it took the biggest clue given out, like an additional hint for it to finally be solved.
Yeah.
And like I spent more months trying to solve that riddle than I did playing the actual game.
That's awesome.
It was so much fun. I hadn't been that excited about something in like a long, long time. That was just like pure brain power of like, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
How is this solvable?
So like, I agree that would have been really cool if that were to happen. But I think a few things happened to where I didn't think that would really be the route it would go. One, RuneScape's very popular, but nowhere near the same level of popularity to Mr. Beast. So I think there's just a lot more humans going to work at this thing. But two, Mr. Beast, I give him all the credit in the world. He's done some amazing things. But I think the folks that he worked with versus RuneScape game developers who basically develop games for a living, I think the creation of the riddle is a bit different. Mm-hmm. And so Mr. Beast did tweet out that there are Discord servers with like hundreds of people working together trying to solve it. So that made it. Oh, by the way, it got solved the night it came out, right?
It got solved before my stream ended.
Yeah, yeah. So
like, it was like 11 p.m. or something. Yeah, it came out at 4.
So it was
took
within
6 hours or something.
Yeah, so it was within a very short frame of time. So there was hundreds of people working on it. One, two. When I first viewed it, I was not anywhere near as excited as you were. But when I first looked at it, to me, and I've almost noticed this about Mr. Beast lately, it was definitely, it seemed a very obvious way for him to just get more views and get like personal information for some reason. Like I think you had to put your email or something at one of the
point,
points.
yeah.
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 And he's been sending out like these forms and stuff to fill out. And I think he's probably going to use that for good in the end. He likes to give back to a lot of people, so I hope it's that route. But a lot of these things just link to more and more videos. So that gave more and more views to those videos, which is money for him, which of course helps pay for the $100,000 that he's giving out. But it didn't seem like it was this super well thought out conundrum that was supposed to be very difficult to solve and would take a long time. And it more just seemed like a way to get more and more eyes on his content.
Yeah. So the one interesting thing that I took away from it was like, one, he created a brand new channel for this clue thing.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do it on his main channel,
which I thought was good.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Because it keeps them all in one place and whatnot, and it doesn't boost his normal subscribe stuff, whatever. So I feel like part of it was he wasn't doing it to draw too much attention to like his main channel. But another thing, you were saying like the clicks amounting up to like money is like a lot of the links went to privated videos. So I don't know if he actually gets money for those clicks since there was no chance for an ad to roll or what. Like I don't know if it was a money grab or I don't know what his actual intentions were behind this.
Yeah, I don't,
if there were any.
I don't think it was like a straight up money grab, but like it was, and it's obviously as a content creator, you want to get your content out to as many people as possible. But just a few of the things he's been doing lately, it's the typical, like, you need to make sure you're following me here, you're liking these things and doing this and this and this, and then there's some kind of prize. And that's okay to some point, but I've just been seeing more and more and more of that from him, which I don't really understand because he's so big now. Like, I would have got it when he was a little bit smaller, but it seems like he's doing more of that than ever. So it's just a little confusing to me.
Well, it's like, it's that same thing happens with like the biggest, hugest people, like David Dobrik or whatever his name is. Yeah. I swear he has an Instagram giveaway of a Tesla Model 3 every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it has 18 million shares on stories and stuff. And it's like, when are you
that's
big
just
enough?
That's just really like, popular right now is like people wanting big free stuff, basically.
But when is it enough that you don't need to grow anymore? Like, you're good. You're good.
I think it's easy to say that as a smaller person. But like,
I'm 5'10".
But so, because I feel like, I don't know, it's like human nature, right? Once you hit a goal, there's always going to be a new goal. It's not normal. It'd be great if we were like that as humans, to just be satisfied once we get to a place that we think we want to get to. But a lot of times you hit a goal, then you're like, well, this is nice. You maybe like that portion of your life for a little while, but then you're like, okay, but what else could I do? And so I think even if you're mega, mega big, you can always do more and more and more. And I think the people who get that big have more of that in their body as well, as wanting to be bigger and bigger and bigger.
I just like, I don't know why, but I pride myself on like generic growth. Like, I don't want to do a giveaway.
Oh,
like I don't want people there for the wrong things.
Genuine growth, I think is super important as well.
So like,
but it is like a
even
fast
at
track
that
sometimes,
level,
right? Like,
but even at that level, like I don't want a fast track. Like I want to grind it out. I want it to like feel fucking good. Like they were there for like me. They weren't there for that like Xbox giveaway or whatnot, you know?
Sure, I think you would feel more innately proud if you
Yeah.
were to get to a certain point in a slow growth way. But are you telling me like I offer you a way to get, you know, a clear 10,000 average views on your stream? You're not going to
There
take that?
should be no such thing as a clear-cut way of getting that.
But there,
Like
I mean, there, like those types of things are more of a fast track for it, right? Like, there's going to be some people who get turned off to that. There's going to be some people who just take advantage of the giveaway thing and then they're gone. But in the end, it does eventually cause some repeat people coming. I mean, that's why they do it as well. It's not just the bang of it. It's they're going to keep some people around. You know, you'll lose a decent proportion.
I just want all the right people there. like that's my thing. Like I'm quality over quantity. Like I don't care what the number is.
No,
I don't care about
feel
numbers. I want the like best people.
I get you, but I'm saying not everybody's like that.
And that I yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
But it feels like it feels like cheating to me. Like I don't know. Like would I want to give giveaways to my community? Absolutely. But I don't want to make it a like
You
prerequisite
have
to
to
be
follow,
like.
you have to like that kind of
But
stuff.
at the same time, like you want people like you only
Uh-huh.
want your followers to be entered into the sweepstakes
Right.
because you want to give
Uh-huh.
it to your community.
Uh-huh.
But I don't want it's so difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. And like I think I would be I'm with you in that like I'm not super focused on, you know, a viewer number. Much rather have the chat interaction. To me, that's the most fun part of the stream. Um, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I wanted to see growth and I wanted to hit certain goals on Twitch. And there's definitely things I wouldn't do in order to get there. But I could see the appeal of maybe doing some of those things in order to get there a little bit faster. And like there might be something to be said to hitting a level of going full time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that to me, I don't think will ever realistically happen in my life, but that would be awesome to get to that point. And then I think I would be happy and satisfied. But I know because I'm a human and it's my nature that if I hit that point, I'm going to be like, well, what can I do next now?
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I just think like I would be devastated if all right, I'm running a giveaway on Twitch. I get up to 100 concurrent viewers on that giveaway stream. I get 100 followers with that stream. I stream the next day, 2 people show up. like because there's no fucking giveaway. It's like I would be devastated. I'd be like,
Yeah. You'd have to go into it at the mindset that number is going to drop off. You just want, you take the day before, right? So let's just make the numbers easy. 10, right? Then you get that 100-person stream. And then the next day, you're really just looking for over 10. It's not realistic to expect that 100 coming back again. But say you get 15, right? You've just doubled your viewership by doing that giveaway. It was popping for the one day, but you knew it wouldn't be that consistent. But maybe there was 5 people who viewed you because of the giveaway, and then they're sticking around because they liked your personality during the stream and they really want to be a part of that community then.
maybe. I just feel guilty because I want to give back to the people who have supported me for like the right reasons.
That's totally fair.
Okay.
I completely agree with you. And I think there's probably ways to do that, right? There could be like a certain length of follow. So it's not, oh, if you just follow for that video and like it, then the giveaway is for you. Maybe it's people who have followed me for over a month, they're in this giveaway.
Good point. Yeah, totally.
So I'm with you there. I could much more see myself doing those types of things for a community that supported me versus kind of these cash and view grabs. But at that same time, it is a game. Like, I personally was not huge into social media before, right? Like I deleted my Facebook a long time ago. I was not very interested in Twitter. I am interested in it now in like the genuine interactions with some of the folks. But I'm also just using it because I know that's a way to get my name out there and hopefully bring some people back to the stream and make them a part of that community.
Totally.
But I'm not like, oh, I'm super excited to tweet about something and I hope, it gets a bunch of likes. I could care less about that portion of it.
Yeah, totally. Well, we want to hear your opinions, podcast listeners. Make sure to tune into our Discord. Hit up the general chat channel. Let us know your opinions. What are your opinions on giveaways? Let
Definitely.
us know.
Yeah. We've got a pod talk channel in our Discord where we thought it'd be a great place to talk about post-episode discussions.
For sure.
And then there's also an ideas channel as well, which is what we had from John this week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, do you got anything else you want to touch on real quick?
I feel like there were a bunch of things.
Okay.
Maybe we could do like a lightning round.
Oh my God. I have nothing on my end, but yeah, I'm ready to feel the lightning.
Okay.
Not give the lightning.
All right. So this is so this is a really quick one. I just wanted to welcome back Bob and Doug.
Bob and Doug.
I'm a little bit disappointed in you. SpaceX astronauts, Crew Dragon.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Crew Dragon had splashdown. They are back on Earth. They had a successful mission to the ISS, first ever American private company in SpaceX to do that. And of course with NASA. And I am just a huge space guy. I actually haven't shown this on the podcast. I got a astronaut tattoo. I'm so into space. So cool. I feel like it doesn't show that well on the camera.
It doesn't do it justice.
But,
no.
Yeah. I can throw that in the link dump. But yeah, I am a huge space guy. I know you're also very into SpaceX as well. So I just wanted to welcome them back to Earth.
Yeah. Sorry they had to come back.
Yeah. It was a good time to leave.
I'm glad to have them back. But yeah.
They picked a good time to get out of here.
I think your tweet said it perfectly.
Right.
Are you sure you wanted to come back? Or did you want to make it longer? I forget what you said.
Yeah. If there's any time in history when you want to be away from Earth, it's probably right now, for sure.
Right now. Yeah.
So that was just a quick thing I wanted to mention. I also, speaking along the lines of social media, TikTok, we talked about this before, which I was almost kind of relieved when I thought it was going to get banned. I've spent way too much time on that now, and I just want it to be gone, honestly. But I think it's going to survive because I think Microsoft is going to purchase the US version of TikTok. They're in talks to do that. Apparently, they also talked with our president to do that, which I have no idea why the president can really ban an app completely. That seems like a breach of executive power to me. I guess he does have some control over financial things, but if you're going ultra capitalism in America and that's what you're into, that doesn't seem like a very capitalistic move. We don't have to get too political. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that TikTok was almost gone, but it seems like might stick around if Microsoft buys them. If they don't, YouTube, I think, is like, yeah, baby. Yeah. We remember what happened with Vine. Talking about David Dobrik. Get those creators over here. And then I've heard Instagram might be coming out with a competitor to it as well.
Of course. Literally...
That's all Instagram does, right? Is like copy other apps or Facebook.
Facebook
basically
just steals things.
Yeah.
they don't even make them better. They just like they take them at whatever point the app is at that point, and they don't advance it at all. But they're like, oh, we got it, we did it, we did it.
Well, they're at the
Look.
point where they just have such a user base that it's like they
Yeah.
don't even have to innovate. They just like come out with something and it's like 80% of the world's population is on it or something crazy. It's not that high,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of people.
Yeah. So do downloads of apps count as imports? In terms of like a presidency. I don't know how
I have no idea.
stuff like that happens,
I
but
have no idea.
yeah. I don't know.
But we'll see if it sticks around or not. Like I
Yeah.
said, I wouldn't be the most upset in the world if it went away. I probably should not be spending as much time as I do on it. So
I still have not downloaded it. I saw
Don't
one
do it.
slasher tweet and he said if I were you, I would delete the app. And he knows many, many things more than me. So I'm trusting him.
yeah, so this is, I think we briefly touched on this. I've got an IT background, so I have many opinions on this. So they are stealing data, but it's just because they're based out of China that we're not okay with that. Like, if this was an American company following the same practices, it would be an American tech company. Like, they steal. Many companies have gotten in trouble for stealing all kinds of data that we didn't think they were. And basically, if you have any kind of app on your home, any smart device in your house, anything, your data's out there already. I understand why you might be afraid of giving that to a company based out of China more than an American company. But to me, the data is just kind of out there unless you're going to totally shut yourself off from all those services.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue was that there were a lot of debates on whether or not they actually were accurate in their terms of services or their agreement statements of what they were using the data for. So, like, I would honestly be okay if they put in their agreement that they were using it for malicious reasons, because then at least, like, we know. But for them to use it a different way than they say they are, then that's like different to me.
I mean,
Like if there's fine print in an agreement that says, yeah, we can use this to hack you. Okay, I'm good with that.
Well-
I'm good with you. Thanks for being honest with me and being transparent, and like then I can choose to welcome it or not. But if they're being deceitful and not being upfront in
But-
their like service agreement,
but what I'm saying is, like, I agree that I think that's horrible and they should be upfront about how your data is being used. But every major company is deceitful about how your data is being used. Facebook, if you have a Facebook account, they had the whole Cambridge Analytica thing where they were selling off data and then it was being used for political motivations behind the scenes. Like, we didn't know that was happening. That wasn't in any agreement we signed. And they weren't even just taking the person who clicked into these certain apps. They were taking their friends as well, who had not clicked anything. So it's like, it's bad, but I think they're all bad is the thing.
you think all of them are bad?
I think the data practices that most of them have are deceitful and are not the way that they should be.
Okay. All right.
I think some companies try more than others and are better than others. But the major tech giants, most of them do the same type of practices, some just worse than others. Really, the one that stays out of it the most is Apple. And that's because they're not in the kind of software social sell ad type space. Their main sales are from hardware. So they actually have almost gone the opposite route and said, like, protect your data with our devices. We're not going to sell your data. We're all locked down. We're our own operating system type of thing, because that wasn't already part of their business practice. I don't think it's because they're some heavenly company that thinks they're above that. I think it's just because it happens to work as a business practice for them. But like, Facebook, all about selling advertisements. Google, I think, biggest seller of advertisements of any company. Search is everywhere. Twitter, same thing. That's really the only way they monetize. So they're using your data for all kinds of things, and they'll sell your data off. It's getting very techy.
Yeah, this was a lightning round. What are we doing?
Yeah, this isn't very lightning.
Sorry. Okay.
This is like a whole storm round, apparently. Speaking of leaking data, actually, this goes along really well. Did you hear at all about the Nintendo leaks?
No, I didn't at all. Actually.
So, I think the biggest leak in the history of video games happened recently with Nintendo.
Sorry, let me sit up a little bit. Sorry, what?
So, they don't, at least the time I was looking at these articles, they don't really know the source of this information, but basically all these old games from Nintendo, there was leaked source code. So all of the source code, there was leaked emails about the games from Nintendo, and personal info was in those emails. Almost like, remember when Sony got hacked a couple years ago, and there was like people talking about certain actors that they didn't want in movies and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was almost like that level of leak, but for Nintendo. But some of the cool, so it's kind of like the way that data was acquired is a little bit sketchy, and so they're talking about how these archives and things for video games are really excited about the data that's come out of it, but it's a little bit sketchy because they're like, well, some of this stuff has personal information in it. We're not sure how this was acquired. It was likely big hacks and stuff. But some of the coolest things that come out of it, not talking about how it was gotten, but just in general.
Yeah.
What do you know about L is real? Does that ring any kind of bell for you?
L is real.
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever have a Nintendo when you were a kid?
Which one?
64.
Like, I had a 64. Yeah.
Did you ever play Super Mario 64?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. What is a big main character that was not included in Super Mario 64?
Not included in Super Mario 65. Oh, Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really into Super Mario 64. I would say that's one of my favorite games of all time.
Okay.
You know how you're talking about your RuneScape Riddle, that it was like months and years? So there was a kind of conspiracy theory around Super Mario 64 that Luigi was somehow unlockable in the game. And it all stemmed from, there was a statue in the game. If you were to, I don't know how much you remember it, but if you're going to go down the first level of stairs out into the courtyard where all the boos were,
Okay.
the ghosts,
Yeah.
there's a statue that's a fountain, and there's a star.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to, if you're not like a big person of the game, but basically there's like a central like fountain, and there was scribbled text in it, and it almost looked like it said L is real, and then a date. And so people thought that if you played a certain way or set your system to that date or something like that, the L might have been Luigi, and then it could be an unlockable character. And so I'm telling you, like, in the Super Mario 64 community, this was a thing for years. Like, like there was people trying to check the game files for it and everything and stuff like that. And basically, it got put to rest. They actually found that same graphic that was used on the statue, that was the scribble, in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So it was just like an asset that was used across multiple games, apparently.
Oh, okay.
But the big thing with these leaks is that they're in the source code, there was a Luigi character model for Super Mario 64. So it's at some point in the game's development, they may have put Luigi into it.
Oh my god.
So like these communities that like I've watched like I don't know hours of content of like is Luigi in Super Mario 64 just because I thought it was an interesting thing in it because I'm so obsessed with Super Mario 64. But so people are like, holy crap, it could have actually been in it. They were thinking about developing for it. So that was one of the big things that came out. There was an Animal Crossing villager that hasn't been released yet that they found in the source code.
No. Okay.
There was early prototypes for a game called Pokemon Diamond, which I don't think ever came out.
Oh.
There were characters from Star Fox that were never released. The original Star Fox. You never played Star Fox?
Wait. No, I played Spy Fox.
No, not Spy Fox. So Star Fox.
Star Fox was in Smash Brothers.
Yeah. That's
okay.
Fox McCloud is the name of the fox in it. And then there's
okay. I never played his games.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was cut characters from Star Fox. There was a super weird looking Yoshi character, like a different variation of Yoshi, basically. And then really weird titles that never got released, like for example, a hockey RPG. Which I don't even know how you make a hockey RPG.
What?
Yeah, but so crazy. Like the amount of data that came out was crazy. They even have a tweet on this article. I'll definitely link that down below. There's a developer who replied to this leak, and it's of this tool. It's a screenshot of a tool, and he's like, "What the fuck? I haven't seen this tool I made for Star Fox 2 for almost 30 years. I wrote it in early C++ to teach myself the language more than anything else. Where the hell have hackers got all this obscure data from?"
Oh my god.
So that was the level of the leaks.
That's insane.
It's crazy. So I'm sure like there's so much data that they're going to be combing through. There's going to be more and more stuff that comes out. But there's people really into archiving like the early history of gaming. So they're super into this because they're like, there's a lot of Nintendo is usually very guarded about their plans and things behind the scenes. And this will kind of fill in a lot of questions and gaps, even though the way the data was got was a little bit sketchy for sure.
Yeah.
So.
So interesting. My mind is boggled. Like I don't even know what to say. Like that's huge. I can't believe I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. It was kind of like under the radar, but I especially as a big like Nintendo 64 fan, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy.
Imagine like some people use the original game source code to now make like their own crowd-funded remasters.
Oh, they have
and stuff like that.
Dude, they have Super Mario 64 running on PC based off like the original source code, and it's like almost perfect, and you can do mods on it, and it's really cool. It's made for Super Mario 64 is a big game in the speedrunning community.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, which I'm very into certain speed runs, and especially like the any percent category, which is basically how fast you can finish a game just in general. Like you don't have to collect all the things. It's basically from start to end. There's always like these super obscure glitches, and like you have to position the controller in a certain way. You have to make sure certain enemies were defeated so that the memory loads a certain way, and all these different things, and it'll like warp you to the end of the game or something.
I was looking at the main page of Twitch on Saturday, and there is like a specific channel that does speed runs like on Saturdays, and they run through certain games. And I was entranced. I watched it for 2 hours, and they were like, the person running it was actually talking through the process of like, okay, right here, there's 2 pixel perfect moves that are required to do this, and I was like, this is insane.
Yeah, there's like huge speedrunning communities. I think there's a very famous, I think it's called AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick, where they would set up these big events where people would go and watch. Of course, you can't with COVID right now, but people would go and watch these streams. Or I'm sorry, they would go watch live. And there'd be all these different types of games. I think it was a week long, and people could tune on Twitch, and all the donations and everything that came to it went to some sort of charity. I think it was like a children's hospital or something.
That was 100% what I was watching on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was St. Jude's. Yeah.
Yep.
It was exactly that.
So it's huge, and I'm super into. I've never tried speedrunning itself, but just for some reason I love that very niche, obscure like community of speedrunners, and they're so into their particular game that they're speedrunning, and they just know everything about it. And like Super Mario 64 is at the point now where it's almost frame perfect, meaning like you basically can't mess up any kind of movement or else you're not going to beat the world record.
That's wild.
It's cool. It's cool for sure. I just nerded out quite a bit on Super Mario 64.
Love it.
But yeah, I think that will do it for our not so lightning round.
Cool. Yeah, we did not fly through those, but hey,
yeah,
we got through them.
We got through. That's for sure. Thank you all for getting through them with us. We are the Little Kings. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Ryan.
Have a great rest of your day, your week, whatever the hell it is.
Catch us back here next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.